Having limited success pulling these flips off, but what did help was waiting until I was in the air before starting the spin, either holding down spacebar to do a backflip or left control to do it forwards. And you can even change those key bindings. That's all part of the brand new update for month 2 of early access for Battlegrounds. This patch that was released today also introduced the motorbike in the first place, and it's currently the only vehicle that can do flips. Something that will actually help your gameplay and not get you killed, though, is a bug fix that I didn't even realize was in the game. Prior to this update, the blue dot is where the barrel is actually aiming, and you can see the ACOG is not appropriately lined up with it. The sight is directly on the target's head, but he's missing every shot because the barrel's not appropriately aligned. However, after the patch, it is now directly lined up. Wherever that sight is facing is where the barrel is and where the bullet will go. The biggest highlight of the update, though, in my opinion, is the new sniper rifle, the VSS. It has a built-in ACOG and suppressor, and you cannot take those off, but it does come standard whenever you pick it up. Just like the SKS and Car 98, you can find it on the ground, but it's very rare, and you can also find it from care packages. The footage that you're seeing is actually testing of the sniper to see how many shots it takes to kill. The left chart shows headshots and the level of helmet that the person was wearing, 0 being no helmet. So even from point blank range with no helmet, it takes 2 headshots to kill your target. But at the other end of the extreme, with a level 3 helmet on at 200 meters away, it took 3 headshots. So for helmets against this gun, you really only see a benefit for a level 3 helmet, and that would be at all ranges. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, it's going to be a 2-shot headshot, except from extreme range with level 2. The chart on the right is showing how many shots it takes to kill with chest shots and a corresponding level of vest, again 0 being no vest on. This is where you see how weak this sniper is, taking 3 torso shots from point blank, up to 7 shots with the level 3 vest on. The biggest takeaway from this is when you pick up this sniper, you're going to want to keep it close range to decrease the amount of shots to kill, and assume that it'll take 3 to 5 shots to kill your target, with that perfectly lined up headshot, even on no helmet, not guaranteeing you the kill. The best tip I can give you for figuring out ranges and how high to aim, especially on stationary targets to get you that headshot, is to note that in the mini map on the bottom right hand corner and on the general map as well, if you zoom in far enough, you can see these white squares. Each of them is 100 meters by 100 meters. That'll give you a good estimate on how far away your target is, and after that, you can help counteract the effect of bullet drop by zeroing your sniper rifle. The VSS actually does not allow you to change the zeroing. It's default set to 100 meters, which means if that target is exactly 1 square away from you, you want to aim pinpoint right at his head, and it will headshot them. If they're a little bit closer, you would want to slightly aim under the target's head, although generally it's such a minute difference, it doesn't really factor into the shot. Regardless, you cannot change the zeroing on the VSS, so if a target's 200 meters away, you actually want to aim up to that second caret mark, and that's adjusting for the next 100 meters of range. In the same aspect, if you're shooting at a target 300 meters away, you want to aim down at the 3rd caret mark on that built-in sight. It shoots 9mm rounds that go subsonic, meaning that they don't break the sound barrier, and if you miss your target, it whizzes by their ear. They're not going to hear that loud cracking sound to help pinpoint where you're coming from. And to also help you with that, like I said, there's a built-in suppressor on this gun, which means your shots are very quiet. But because the bullet goes so slow, you have to lead a lot for this gun. This is only 100 meters away. The target is running at full sprint, but I'm aiming pretty much right in the middle of that long black bar. Even when I bring this down to 50 meters range, though, I'm still aiming in about the same portion, and this is generally going to be the max amount that you would need to lead. It's a completely perpendicular target going at full speed. Unless somebody's in a car, that would be the only time you'd want to lead more. I also tried this on full auto and maybe just burst firing it, but you can see the second shot goes very high if I just do a quick 2-round burst. So in general, I would not recommend putting it on full auto unless you're going up point blank against somebody, which it can be viable. You now see it at 50 meters here. I'm still leading about the same amount. I'm putting them in the center of that black portion, or if they're running at a slower speed, slightly less. But because they're closer, it's a bigger target with more pixels there for you to aim at, which makes it a little easier. They also made changes to existing guns already in the game, including the AKM, increasing its damage per bullet, decreasing the pellet damage from the Winchester, the S686, as well as the S12K shotguns, reducing the bullet damage for the Vector, and also tweaking the recoil for pretty much all of the assault rifles. They also now made it so the SKS sniper rifle can use the cheek pad, and the Vector can use the tactical stock from the M416, which I was finding pretty useless before this. Both of those things will decrease the amount of sway that a gun has, and decrease the amount of recoil that you'll feel from it. It's very minor, mainly felt when going full auto from what I noticed, and testing the cheek pad on the VSS as well as the SKS, and then testing the Vector's stock, I didn't really notice a significant difference between all of them. It seemed to do about the same thing. But especially with the Vector, if you stack on a compensator and a vert grip, it can definitely decrease the amount of recoil that you're feeling. The sway seemed very minor, even when I tested it on the SKS, but it's better to have that than nothing. The only attachments that the VSS could have was that cheek pad and an extended magazine as well. They also did add an animation for when you dragged a piece of equipment into your inventory. However, they seem to have taken it off due to their complaints or lag and issues, bugs in their server. So we'll see if they do decide to add that back. The rest of this is all pretty minor tweaks. For example, improved render distances on fences, grass, weapons, and attachments from very far away. Adding an audio effect when your tires get punctured from being shot at. Improving the sound of the sidecar motorbike. And adding sounds for doors being destroyed. But one of the things you most likely will notice quickly if you've been going for a lot of car plays is that the cars no longer spawn at a 100% rate in garages. Not all garages were that way, but many of them were. They do have a higher percentage chance of having cars or any vehicle in them, but it's no longer going to be 100% at the backwards L building, you know what I mean? You also might start noticing a dotted line on your mini-map in the bottom right. That's showing you the fastest possible route to get into the circle. That way you don't need to actually pull up your main map and do a mark or whatever. Follow the dotted line. They also made some fixes for the drop pins that you're able to put if you right-click when you're on the big map. Sometimes things would have showed up double, but you can also now remove that marker by hitting the delete key. You can even do that if your map isn't open. A lot of times I've noticed this, especially with the 8-man teams, there can be some extra pins laying around. Even in squads, there could be some pins laying around, so just to tidy it up, hit delete and you can get rid of that quickly. For 2 months into early access now, they've added 2 guns, made quite a bit of tweaks, added 2 new vehicles as well, although one of them is a motorcycle with a sidecar, the other is a motorcycle without a sidecar. They've also announced that there will be 2 new maps coming, although it's still very early and they still need to make more improvements just for overall utilization of the graphics card, for example. But they have been making a lot of strides in terms of making improvements to the actual performance of the game. I remember in the cities very early on, the FPS got extremely low, and that has definitely seen an improvement. They have mentioned that one of the core things that's causing lag in the game and desync issues, or whatever you want to call it, is some type of core gameplay mechanic. They didn't really get into it more than that, but it's something that's going to be a more long-term fix that they're going to need time in order to get corrected. They have been making performance updates in other areas, which is great, and overall, I'm still just as addicted to this game and wanting to play it more. I've been getting a lot of requests for it on my Facebook streams, as well as even content on my channel here, as well as now my new second channel. So that's why I wanted to start introducing some more videos and my commentary, I guess, on it on my main channel here as well. If you guys did enjoy the video, let me know. Drop it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you do want more information about all of the other monthly updates. I think I'm going to make this a consistent thing that I do for the updates. They also do roll out weekly ones that are a little bit more minor. I'll definitely talk about those in my live streams and such. I don't know if I'll make a full video about it, but I hope you guys enjoyed, got some good information. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments or give it a dislike if you really hated it. That's it for this one, though. Thanks so much for watching. This is SwagMountain 64, over and out.